The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Chen Wei stepped forward, her hands clasped behind her back with characteristic human confidence. The assembled delegates, representing 47 different species across the known galaxy, watched with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. Humans had been part of the galactic community for only 3 standard cycles, yet they had already gained a reputation for peculiar abilities. "Honored delegates," Chen began, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's translation matrix. "I understand there have been concerns raised about human integration protocols, specifically regarding our species' interaction with non-sentient life forms. A ripple of what could generously be called nervous energy passed through the assembly." The Zephyrian delegate's crystalline form chimed softly, while the Krathan representative's scales shifted to a darker hue, both clear signs of discomfort. High Counselor Vextai of the Andromedans leaned forward, his 6 eyes focusing intently on the human ambassador. "Indeed, Ambassador Chen, we have received disturbing reports from multiple sectors. Your species appears to have an unprecedented compulsion to physically interact with creatures that other civilized species would consider dangerous, unpredictable, or simply inappropriate for contact." Chen smiled, that peculiar human expression that so many species found unsettling in its apparent contradiction, showing teeth while indicating friendliness. "Perhaps some specific examples would help clarify the situation." The massive view screen behind the council's podium flickered to life. The first image showed a human colony on Kepler 438b, where a young human child was gently running her hand along the back of a Nexarian thunder lizard, a creature whose bioelectric discharge could power a small city. "This creature," Counselor Vexatai stated, his voice tight with controlled horror, "has killed 7 members of our previous survey teams. Its touch is lethal to 96% of known sentient species." "Little Sarah there calls him Sparky," Chen replied matter-of-factly. "He follows her around like a pet. The bioelectric field actually helps regulate her nervous system. She has a rare neurological condition that the electrical stimulation treats better than any medicine we've developed." The next image appeared, a human mining operation on Titan 7, where workers were casually brushing the crystalline fur of massive spider-like creatures with legs spanning 3 meters. "The arachnoid crystal weavers," gasped the Zephyrian delegate, its crystalline structure resonating with distress. "They are apex predators. Their venom can dissolve titanium steel alloys. They're also incredibly lonely," Chen explained. "Turns out they're highly social creatures who were suffering from isolation because everyone else was too afraid to interact with them. Our miners discovered that regular grooming sessions not only calmed the creatures, but actually increased their silk production by 400%. The partnership has been incredibly beneficial for both species." The images continued, humans petting the translucent, ethereal void whales in the depths of space, children in the agricultural domes of Mars giggling as they brushed the metallic scales of quantum serpents, elderly humans in care facilities finding comfort in stroking the tentacles of empathic, mindless jellies from the Vega system. "How?" The question came from Commander Zorth of the militant Krathan Empire, his voice barely above a whisper. "How do your people not die?" "Every simulation, every predictive model we've run suggests that humans should have been extinct within days of first contact with these creatures." Chen's expression grew thoughtful. "Our scientists have been studying this phenomenon extensively. It appears to be a combination of factors unique to human physiology and psychology. First, our skin secretes a complex mixture of oils and pheromones that seem to have a universally calming effect on most carbon-based life forms. Second, our nervous system operates on a frequency that somehow harmonizes with many different bioelectric fields." She paused, noting the rapt attention of the assembly. "But perhaps most importantly, we approach these creatures with what our psychologists call benevolent intent. We genuinely want to connect, to comfort, to understand. Many species approach unknown creatures with fear, aggression, or clinical detachment. Humans approach them with affection." "Affection?" High Counselor Vextai's voice carried a note of incredulity. "For creatures that could kill you?" "For creatures that are alive," Chen corrected gently. "You see, honored delegates, throughout human history, we've shared our world with countless dangerous animals. Bears, wolves, great cats, venomous snakes, sharks. Yet somehow we've always found individuals among these species who could be befriended, understood, even loved. It's not that we ignore danger. It's that we see the individual beyond the species classification. Dr. Sarah Kim, the human xenobiologist who had been standing quietly behind Chen, stepped forward. If I may add, our research suggests that this stroking behavior, this need to physically connect through gentle touch, triggers the release of bonding hormones not just in humans, but in a surprising variety of alien species. Touch appears to be a more universal language than we ever imagined. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of sounds, chirps, clicks, harmonics, and subsonic rumbles as delegates discussed this revelation among themselves. The concept was revolutionary. For millennia, galactic civilization had operated on the principle of maintaining careful distance from potentially dangerous life forms. Are you suggesting, Commander Zorth said slowly, that the key to peaceful coexistence across the galaxy is petting things? Chen's smile widened. We're suggesting that perhaps the key to understanding the universe is recognizing that most creatures, regardless of how different they appear, share certain fundamental needs to be acknowledged, to be treated with kindness, and sometimes just to be gently touched by someone who sees them as more than a threat. The implications are staggering, whispered the Andromedian High Counselor. If humans can safely interact with these creatures, if they can form bonds where we see only danger, it changes everything. Dr. Kim nodded. We're already seeing applications in terraforming, resource extraction, even diplomatic relations. Creatures that were considered obstacles or threats are becoming partners. Ecosystems that were deemed hostile are becoming homes. The view screen now showed a final image, a human settlement on the edge of known space, where children played in gardens tended by massive, gentle giants that had once been classified as planetary hazards. Overhead, the ethereal forms of space-dwelling creatures drifted like living auroras, their movements synchronized with the laughter below. High Counselor Vextai leaned back in his crystalline chair, all six eyes studying the human delegation with new understanding. Ambassador Chen, Dr. Kim, it appears your species has a gift that could transform galactic civilization. We hereby approve the human proposal for expanded settlement rights and request guidance in developing our own interspecies contact protocols. As the formal session concluded and delegates began to disperse, many approached the human representatives with questions, eager to learn more about this revolutionary approach to xenobiology. The Zephyrian delegate even asked, somewhat hesitantly, if humans might consider visiting their homeworld to help with their own domestication challenges. Chen watched the interactions with satisfaction. Humanity had found its place in the galaxy not through superior technology or military might, but through something far simpler and more profound, the understanding that a gentle touch could bridge any gap, that kindness was indeed a universal language. In the end, it wasn't weapons or walls that would unite the galaxy. It was the simple, revolutionary act of reaching out to stroke whatever needed stroking, regardless of how alien or dangerous it might appear to be.